I think it'd be great if every kid in America knew what design was like by the time they were 12 years old. Every leader in America, in an institution, a company, an organization, they should also know how to use design and design thinking. So there's an enormous opportunity to expand the remit in terms of communicating about design to the full population. I think of design in 4 different levels. The first is design awareness, which is how people choose things. Next is design skills, which is how people actually design. The third is design thinking, which is how people know what to do. And then the top is design research, which is more about how people know. So if we think of those, coming back to them at a more individual level, if you think about design awareness, you know, Don Norman in his book Emotional Design talks about the fact that everybody is a designer. So everybody obviously makes design choices in terms of their lives, what they wear, how they arrange the places they live, and so on. So if we can increase the awareness that people have, then they get better at making those choices. If you look at the design skills, you know, there's a long tradition there from architecture to ceramics of individual design professions sharing common method and approach. Always atelier, always learning by doing, always using subjective rather than just objective knowledge, tacit knowledge as well as explicit knowledge. So they're coming at problem solving with this learning by doing approach. And the difference between those disciplines is really what they need to know in order to operate. So the ceramics person needs clay and the architect needs to understand buildings. Then if we come to design thinking, which is the D-School's point of view, that's using this design process and letting that be operated by people from different disciplines. So it helps, rather than just knowing how to do it, it helps people know what to do. It helps to solve the problem before you actually start designing. What should we design? And putting together people from different backgrounds in collaboration in this unique way of using design process to think is a way of getting quite complicated problems surprisingly easily solved. And that's really, I think, the strength of design thinking. However, it's very young so far, so there's a huge amount of opportunity to spread the word, get more places like the D-School, get industry to understand that better, get business schools to understand it better. So there's lots of opportunity to expand design thinking. And then at the top level is design research. You know, and if you look at the other arts like poetry or painting, there are a lot of people who do PhDs and understanding how those arts work. They're not the same people who write the beautiful poems or paint the beautiful paintings. They're the people who expand the body of knowledge about how that art works or operates. And I think there's a lot of opportunity there in design to have more research about the understanding of design and how it works and communicating that. So there's a lot of opportunity for design research, not just in the way we use research within the design process, but also the way we need to research to understand more about how design can happen and how it works and how it's effective.